This morning we have been taking a closer look at the upcoming city elections in Chelsea. On the show this morning we're chatting with 4 of the 6 candidates for at-large city councilor slots, and next week we shall feature the remaining 2 candidates. We now conclude in alphabetical order with candidate Damali Vidot. Good morning and welcome to Urban Update. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, I've been asking everyone the same question, so let's ask it of you. Why are you running for Chelsea City Council? This is your first run for public office,
It is my first run for public office. I'm a lifelong resident. I'm a homeowner, a small business owner, and a mom of a 9-year-old. And I started going to city meetings about a year ago, and I started to see a big disconnect between residents and the city officials. And so I started speaking up on a variety of issues, quality of life mostly issues. And I started talking to residents, and they felt that there was an underrepresentation. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to throw my name in the running to be able to represent the average Joe or Joanne at City Hall.
Okay. In your view, what are the 2 or 3 most important pressing issues you think that are facing Chelsea residents in the next few years?
There's one big one, and for me it's the development and all the issues that come along with it. So for example, we have development and the displacement of long-term residents, which I think is a huge issue. Also, development and the threat that poses to our public safety with regards to parking issues and traffic and rats and whatnot. So, and also we have a huge substance abuse problem in Chelsea. And the things that come along with that, with crime and whatnot. It would be nice to be able to figure out a way to get people the adequate treatment that they need so we can try to push our city in a better direction.
What makes you a good representative for the residents of Chelsea?
I've experienced Chelsea in many different phases. As I grew up there, I was a young person who needed a little extra help. I went through a rough patch as a teenager. Then I went and I worked as a youth worker, working with young people who were going through the same rough patch. I became a homeowner, I became a mother. And I'm not scared to speak up about the issues that are happening in the city. And because of my unique experience of having experienced Chelsea in so many different ways, I feel I have a unique ability to be able to connect with people from all walks of life and, just be able to represent people at City Hall.
What about city services? What would you do to make City Hall more proactive in providing city services for residents?
I think that the most important thing that we need is government transparency. I feel we have a lack of community engagement because there isn't a lot of transparency. If we as a city were more open and shared more information with the public about the things that were going on and people were more involved, then we can each hold each other accountable on the many issues that we have.
What about some specific initiatives that you yourself might be spearheading? Can you share any of those?
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I really think it's important to have more community engagement. I think that we really need more government transparency, and I would like to figure out what ways we can do that in order to make sure that we're always speaking with the residents and keeping them aware of the many happenings that are happening in the city. And also, I'm really big on the youth involvement, which is something that I feel that we're also lacking in. So it would be nice to establish some type of youth council so that we can have maybe through a senior civics class or something at the high school where the young people can, be engaging in the community. So promote civic engagement and also, empower them in the process.
What about the, again, you've been talking about development. There's a new Silver Line coming through there, and there's also the concern about rents and housing and the whole issue of gentrification. What is your take on all of that?
It's one of the issues that really just hits home for me because I know so many people that have lived in Chelsea for so many years and have been forced out because of the rise in rents and property taxes. I'm all for development, but we need to do it in a way that's transparent and that there's a balance so we're not displacing people. Gentrification is an issue that's happening in communities all over this country. And I see a lot of people even coming from Boston to Chelsea because they can no longer afford living in Boston. And while we welcome them with open arms, we need to be able to consider our existing residents so that they're not being pushed out of our city.
What about the new Silver Line coming through? I guess what impact do you think that'll have on Chelsea, and what can you do to maximize the positives?
Good question. There's traffic sometimes is gridlocked. Just to get from one corner, and it's 1.8 square miles getting from one side to the other. There's so many developments, so many projects going on. I'm not sure To be honest with you, I don't know. But, as city council, I will definitely try to do whatever I can and get creative and looking at models from other cities to figure out how we can handle those situations.
The city, as we've been discussing this morning, it has an enormous Latino presence.
Yeah.
And some people say the city should do more to diversify its own workforce. Do you agree with that premise?
I absolutely agree that government should be reflective of its community. Especially in the last census, it said that we had 62% Latinos that lived in Chelsea, and I would beg to differ that there's more. I definitely think that we need more involvement, but not diversity also not in terms of just your ethnicity, but in terms of age, sexual orientation, and gender. Currently, we have an 11-member city council where there's only one woman. I think that me, being a young mother, brings a unique perspective into city council to know what it is to have a child in the current public school system and, like I said, represent the average Joe or Joanne.
Okay, and I guess we'll leave it right there. Damali Vidot,
Yeah.
Candidate for City Council, City of Chelsea. 6 candidates, 3 slots. We're going to hear from 2 more of them next week. Thanks for coming in, and
Thank
good
you
luck
so
on
much.
the campaign trail. Well, that's it for this edition of Urban Update. Enjoy the day, and don't forget tonight, right here on Channel 7 NBC, the Patriots take on the Indianapolis Colts on Football Night in America. For everyone here, I'm Byron Barnett for Urban Update. Have a great Sunday, and go Pats.